You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, I don't know how I actually missed this here. As you guys probably know, the new Congress was sworn in last Friday, and there's about to be some massive changes. Actually, this one here is really going to affect the world of sports. Now, for the better part of the last 2 to 3 years here on this channel, we have been talking about the invasion in women's sports, because you actually do have males out there identifying as females and invading women's sports in their spaces. They're winning matches against women. They're competing against women, and they are injuring women. Volleyball, swimming, you name it, basketball. We have covered it all, folks. And President Trump will be back in the White House on January 20th. And one of his priorities, he actually said, was he's going to end the transgender invasion in sports. Now, what happened during the November election? The Republicans, they already had control of the House. They have the House again. The House now has flipped from Democrat to Republican, and President Trump is going to be back in the White House, folks. Now, one of the priorities, man, and I didn't know this here, the House actually came together with their rules package, and guess what? They're going to fast track banning transgenders in sports, namely women's sports, because that's really, guys, where we have actually seen the invasion. You're not really seeing it on the other side. So the Blair Flemings of the world and the Leah Will Thomases of the world, you've been put on notice. You have been put on notice, guys. So let's look at this, guys. One of the first acts of the new House of Representatives fast-tracking a bill to ban transgender athletes from competing in women's sports. On Friday, the newly sworn in 119 Congress agreed to a rules package that included the ban, the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. Now, I believe it's very similar to the other one that they actually passed. And guess what? Not one single Democrat voted to protect women's sports. And that bill died in this Senate. Why? Because Democrats were in control. Never came up for a vote. But anyway, it says as of one of 12 that will be fast-tracked to the House floor for a vote, and I have no doubt about it's going to pass the House. The package states that almost nothing can get in the way of a vote for these 12 bills, save a couple of provisions, including 1 hour of debate. Quote, the radical left is not in step with the American people on the issue of protecting women's sports. And Rep. Greg Steube is right about this, who authored the bill, said in a statement Friday, the bill, now check this out, would amend Title IX. Remember, Joe Biden actually wanted to change Title IX from sex to gender identity. Yeah, he and the Supreme Court shot that down, guys, by the way. Also today, Biden took another big L on this in federal court too as well. They said, Joe Biden, you can't do this. So anyway, goes on, it says the bill would amend Title IX, the statute that prohibits educational institutions from receiving federal funding from discriminating on the basis of sex. And that has been used to require equal opportunities for women's sports. The bill would add language to Title IX stating that it would be a violation for a school to, quote, permit a person whose sex is male to participate in an athletic program or activity that is designated for women, adding that sex can be solely defined as, quote, a person's reproductive biology and genetics at birth. I like that, guys. Well said right there. Well said. Now, I believe this is mainly going to affect institutions, actually really only institutions that actually receive federal funding, like colleges and universities. Yeah, public universities. Your schools also as well. like your public schools also as well. Because I do believe they get federal funding also as well. So this pretty much, guys, especially on a collegiate level, is going to end transgenders participating in women's sports. Unless, they try to actually pull a Blair Fleming and try to hide the fact that the person really isn't a woman. Remember, the Blair Fleming situation, guys, San Jose State actually tried to hide the fact that that was actually a male. And then it all came out. It goes on, it says it would apply to all educational institutions receiving federal funding, from elementary schools with sports programs to NCAA collegiate institutions. Now, on a pro level, guys, the leads and everything, they seem to be on top of this and passing bans. LPGA, cycling, all these other governing bodies, aquatics, ban swimmers also as well. Yeah. Anyway, the bill has been introduced and debated on multiple occasions and passed House 2023, but the bill died in the Senate. Why? Because Democrats weren't in control. But it does say here, it is unclear just how quickly the revived bill will be reintroduced on the House floor, but Republicans have campaigned heavily on the issue, as did President-elect Donald Trump, who made it one of his top 20 campaign priorities. And by the way, guys, look here. It does say right here, the bill will almost certainly pass the House, which has a 220 to 215 Republican majority. It's unclear how it will fare in the Senate, however. Despite a Republican majority of 53-47, Democrats will have an opportunity to utilize the filibuster to block the bill from being brought to a vote, unless Republicans can convince enough of them to vote in favor of the ban. Well, if the Democrats know what's good for them, they better fall in line. Because this, my friends, is going to make the Democrats lose elections even more. There's probably actually a few Democrats that will actually come on board with this. I don't know if this actually is going to come down to the filibuster or not. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But we know if it gets past Senate, man, Trump is signing that thing. He's going to sign this thing, guys. And then the transgenders, they're going to be whining and crying because they're going to be banned from participating in women's sports. This needs to happen, folks. This needs to happen. Now, if you guys have been paying attention to the political landscape, definitely seems like Democrats, for the most part, are not learning that lesson, man. They're just not. I mean, these people still are running on identity politics and stuff like that. It's kind of funny in the election too, man. Some Democrats are actually trying to hide the fact that they were pushing transgenders and female sports. We have to see what happens with this, guys. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.